Marry me, it's Lizzie here. Here to talk about altar setup. I got a few questions about, how I set up my altar, basics ways of doing it. Now, before I begin, I'm going to talk about a few things. Altars are basically just a place of worship. Pretty much every religion has some sort of form of an altar. It's not just a Wiccan thing. Christian, I know my old church had an altar. I know Islamic temples have altars, Shinto temples have altars, Buddhist temples have altars. Pretty much every religion has an altar in some way or another. So it's not just limited to Wicca. And there are so many ways to make an altar. It's limitless. But I'm here to talk about maybe the basic way that in Wicca altars are set up. There are different ways according to what practice you have, but I'll show you some of the basics one. The basic one I use. So as you see, I have a cauldron, candles, pine cone, seashell, chalice, crystal, flame, and a wand. Now there are other tools you have, but I just grabbed these because they're pretty much these will show like the basics of things. Alright, oh yeah, pentacle as well. Now you're first going to set up your altar, placing the goddess candle on the left, the god candle on the right. Typically, the goddess symbols are going to be on the left side, and the god symbols are going to be on the right side. Though people kind of switch it up sometimes. Sometimes the goddess on the right, and God on the left. It's your choice, because it is your personal altar. All right. In the middle, usually the pentacle will go in the middle. Pine cone goes on the right, since it's a symbol of God. Seashell will go on the left, since it's a symbol of the goddess. Now, there are different ways you could set them up. Some people like having the cauldron in the center on the pentacle. I like having mine right behind the pentacle. But some people like to place the cauldron on the goddess side. It's your choice. The thing, people usually like to place on the god side, right here, or somewhere around there. Chalice on the left, since it's goddess symbol. With the wand, people sometimes like to place it in the middle, but sometimes they switch it with the Athane. Place the wand in the Athane spot and put the thing in the middle. There are a lot of different ways you can do this. Like, I like to set my altar, place the chalice on the pentacle, theme on the chalice, and the wand right in front of the pentacle. And I usually place a couple of crystals on my altar, right in front of the pentacle. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can make an altar. It's not limited to... It's only limited by what you want it to be. A lot of people really like to have eccentric altars, but an altar can be as easy as just having the candles, or just a seashell and pine cone. You can even use stones just to easily make a simple altar. Now, a lot of people like to go eccentric with things with these, because it is your place of worship, but you can make it as detailed as you want, you can make it as simple as you want. When making a simple altar, you should consider if you have enough area to have a complex altar, or if you should have a more simpler one. If your people you live with will be, okay with it. Like if you do live with your parents and they're not really big on your practicing, 2 candles. That's it. Or if you're not allowed to have candles in your room, you can have flameless candles. You can have just a pine cone and a seashell. You can have crystals. You can have a lot of different things. Yeah, you can have stones. You can have jars of herbs in them. There's a lot of things you can do. What else do I have in my altar? Yeah, you can just make a bunch of things. But like the basics is God is on the left, God on right. People like the have the divine in the middle. It's your choice. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not too complex, not too hard. The altar is meant to help your practice, nobody else's. But if you're making like a altar that multiple people will be using, it'll be good to have a good idea to have a kind of common consent about what the altar should have and consist of, and the layout of the altar should be. But yeah, it's not too difficult. It's not too hard at all. You can do whatever you like, whatever makes you think it's very pretty, whatever you like, whatever strikes you as beautiful, simple, extravagant. It's your choice. Now, if anyone has any questions, leave me an ask on Tumblr or comment on YouTube. I'll get to it as fast as I can. And I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Blessed be.